Deborah Chester is on the line with us here, and we're going to be talking about her book, The Journey, Overcoming Adversity While Succeeding with the Power to Persist. How are you doing today?
Absolutely fine. Thank you very much. And how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's a Friday afternoon. It's the best time of the week, isn't
Absolutely.
it? Now, your book, The Journey, is based on a true story, isn't it?
It is. Yes, everything in the book is the truth. It's taken us all by a bit of shock, really, of what's happened in our life. But yes, it's definitely given us faith and a different outlook.
Yeah. So what was it that inspired you to share your story in the form of a book?
Right. So big things happened. We actually got hit by, I had a dream, saved our life. It saved mine and my daughter's life. I woke my husband up and said, I've had this awful dream. And he said, go back to sleep. Don't think about it because you work too hard. And so that's what I did. But I just kept thinking about it. It just kept, for a few days, just kept coming back. And 2 weeks later, he was working away and I was in the office and my daughter came running in shouting, Mummy, Mummy, what's going on outside? And it was like deja vu. It was that moment where you're like, oh my goodness, I have been here before. And I looked out of the window where the office was and saw two tornadoes coming straight for us. And I only had, I get a bit emotional. I actually only had enough time to pick the girls up off the floor and run to the part of the house in the dream. And it was the only part of the house that survived.
Wow.
And so that's why we write in the book.
Yeah, that sounds like a thrilling dream. Normally we don't like it when people tell us about their dreams because they always sound boring to the other person. But that one was quite thrilling.
It changed our life forever, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. We sort of went on from one dream and it led to another dream, which was my husband's dream. We went on then to, it was a dream about me curbing his car wheels. Then I thought, well, gosh, we can't have a dream that saved our life. Now we've been given a dream that could potentially change our life. That's what we did. We went on to invent a product called Rim Protect wheel bands to stop curb damage on car wheels with that second dream.
That's incredible, isn't it? As an author, I mean, I know this book is based on a true story, but do you find that inspiration for stories can come from dreams as well?
Absolutely. I think because this is so real and the dream was so real, it was different to what I'd ever experienced before.
Yeah.
And because then I knew a few weeks later it came true. I actually, that dream, I've never had, thank God, touch wood, I've never had a dream like that since. But, that dream came to change our life. And I think a lot of dreams are pretty amazing if people really get down and listen to them.
So for the book, The Journey, what is your story and what is the story that we actually learn about in the book?
So it's basically from losing everything and becoming homeless. We became homeless. We lost everything when the tornadoes hit the house and we lived with friends for about 5 months. So it's basically a true rags to riches story, really. The family that lost everything to going on and working really, really hard on building businesses to try and build ourselves back up again, to succeeding and inventing a few automotive products now. And I can do it, anyone can do it. That's basically what the book's about. It shows you the journey of what we've gone through and what other people are going through in their life to actually know that anybody can achieve anything if they put their mind to it.
Yeah. And where is the book set? Is it set exactly in your house and everything is exactly as it is?
It's a bit of a worldwide story. So it goes on from obviously the dreams to the tornadoes, to us inventing products, the whole patent process. So it's really good for people that need information, on how to patent an idea, how to invent an idea. Everybody has these ideas, but nobody actually takes them forward. So we've sort of got a little bit of there's a thriller in there, a little bit of a thriller going on. So that's quite grippy. And that's when I actually helped do casting directing on some of the silver screen films in New Zealand.
Wow.
And so that there is a real good thriller gripping story there between some some of the things that happened on set.
Yeah. So is the book quite useful for budding entrepreneurs? Because as you say, a lot of people have got great ideas, but they either find the task of setting up a business too daunting, and maybe why would they need to? Because they've already got a job, and also they maybe just don't know how to get their idea out there.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, everybody's got an idea and everybody can do this. I always say, one step at a time, because you're always in life going to get knockbacks. Yeah. We've had plenty of them, and you'll read about them in the book. And it's like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? We had so many events that sort of made us know that we was being given something, whether it was from the universe, God, something was happening in our life that actually made us really realise that, we need to do this. And obviously we want to help other people. So it's all about the journey bags that we do for the homeless people and things like that. And all the profits, obviously, from the book is going to go to homeless and people that are suffering.
Wow, that's impressive. Do you think that the book is enjoyable to read? Because I suppose you've went through quite a journey, as the title of the book would give away. So what I'm getting at is, if most people in the world were to write an autobiography, it wouldn't be that interesting. But yours is.
Absolutely. I think there's something in there for everybody. Every reader out there will, we've had some great people reviewing, and they've said that they don't normally read, and they've had to read the book over 2 days. They just couldn't put the book down. So I think it's going to be really good for the reader and for any reader, no matter what age, and just gives you a story. Each chapter has a story, and so it's really good.
And how long did the book take you to write?
Oh my gosh. When we had the tornadoes afterwards, I always thought, gosh, it'd be so nice to especially when things started going right, so nice, to put things down in a book, to let other people know that life's hard. Life can be really hard sometimes, but there is that, bright silver lining at the end for everybody if you just take one step at a time and gradually get there. So that's the thing with the book, is everybody can get something from that.
When you were at school, you struggled with undiagnosed dyslexia. Has that made it harder to write the book and to write books in general?
I actually re-educated myself. At school, it sort of got lost, and it was that sort of, oh my gosh, she should try harder at school. And, sit in my break times and try and write out a little bit slower, because I found that if I rushed, everything was all jumbled and looked horrendous. Even I couldn't read half the writing. So I'd stay in break times and do that. Well, I'd have to. So by the time the bell went for one lesson, I was coming out of the other one, because I was still writing my notes on the first lesson. There was, because of the this dyslexia really not being known too well, it did give me a lot of difficulties at school, and so I left school quite early, and I went on to start a little business at 15.
Wow.
Which I was doing clothes parties for the local ladies. So it sort of, I've always had that sort of business entrepreneurial type. Yes. Dyslexia, it was basically leave school and then find a way to be able to cope with it, and re-educate what you actually see is not what you're actually seeing, and potentially not reading the right things. So you can educate yourself for it to be a lot easier.
Yeah, maybe this is just to be expected because so many people have dyslexia, but I think some of the biggest business names have dyslexia. Like, I think Alan Sugar has it. Is there some kind of correlation there?
I think it's the proof. For me, I was always one that, like, I'm going to prove everybody wrong. I'm not the thick kid that sits in the classroom, never putting my hands up to answer a question because I was too scared.
Yeah.
It would be that, you go out there and just do what you feel, because anyone can do it. And dyslexia, I believe, is more of a benefit because it made me think differently.
And how has it changed for you over the years? Have you found now that there's more out there, more known about the condition, it's been easier for you and you've been able to find ways around it?
Yeah, you do find ways around it. Obviously, you know, if there's certain things that might take you a little bit longer to do certain things, but you find the right people as well. So making sure you've got the right people in place that can help you along that journey is a big thing.
And dyslexia awareness is right up, thanks to Matt Hancock's £10,000.
Absolutely.
And what was your favourite part of writing the book, if there was one?
Well, I think writing the book, gosh, I shed so many tears in the book because, you know, my girls suffered from post-traumatic stress. My other girls couldn't go to school, so she was homeschooled because of it. And I think it was my way of getting everything out that we'd been through. So to sit there as well, once it's written and read it back, it was like, wow, we've actually been on a journey. And I love the mystical bit about the pub, which was based on like a haunted type. Something wasn't right in this in the pub, and this is where it really, the mystical starts with a guy that keeps showing up every time something went wrong. And he said something to me a week before the tornado, and he said, "You're not at your lowest of the low yet. Something's going to come along and blow you off your feet." And it was like, didn't even think anything until after the tornado, and it was like, I never saw him again. It was like, this is really weird.
Yeah.
But that is really gripping and quite exciting.
And how much of the book is true and how much is added dramatic fiction?
Everything is true. And that is the thing. That is, I mean, you've got to really read it. I mean, it's not obviously crazy, you know, spiritual type things, but there is things in there. And it's like things was given from the universe that allowed us to take that next step. And the book's a lot on gut feeling, intuition, and what you shouldn't go with if you don't feel it's right. Or if you feel it's right, then you go for it. So.
And of course, as you mentioned, the proceeds from the book are going to charity. Does that go against a business instinct, or would you do that anyway?
I would have done that anyway. I think that's just, I just want to be able to, because we was homeless as well, and I understand there's two types of homelessness out there. You know, there's people that want to be homeless, and there's people that are homeless and they've had no choice in the matter to become homeless. Everybody needs a little bit of helping hand, but you know, there is so much out there that everybody can help with, and it's definitely with the economy the way it is as well at the moment, everybody seems to be struggling, and so just little things can mean so much.
And was homeless something that maybe you deny at first? Because maybe it's different if your house literally gets blown apart, but if you lose your house, you maybe deny it at first and you slowly come to realise you don't have a place to live.
Yes, I think that's the thing. I think at first there's so much drama and things that is going on in your life, you don't have time to think about it. You know, you've lost your home, you're living with friends in their spare room and on their sofa, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know, what do we do? And but then as time goes on, it's like, we are actually homeless. We've got nothing, you know, everything was taken away. We weren't insured for enough. And then we had issues with the insurance, and it was just like one thing after another. And so it's like, we have to do this ourselves. Let's start a business. Let's do this. Let's take steps. And then we moved to Auckland, which was about 5 hours away from where the tornadoes were, to get away from them. And then there was another tornado. It's like there was following. Oh, no. Like, oh my God. And I think that's what really kick-started the post-traumatic stress in my daughter, because it was horrendous. You know, there was clinging on to me. I'd got my body laid over them, and they were shouting, "Mummy, Mummy, we're going to die." And it was an awful thing for them to all go through. I mean, even though I went through it, I think my mind was occupied making sure they was all safe.
I suppose it must be particularly traumatizing for children because it scars them for life.
Absolutely. They do seem to I think they've got to a point now where they're going, oh my gosh, have I got to read your book again, Mum? Have I got to read this book again? Because it was sort of, and I said, we know, we've lived through it, you know.
And when you were writing the book, did you find the process traumatizing or cathartic, or maybe a bit of both?
It was traumatizing at the start for me, because I'd held it in for so long. So yeah, there was plenty of tears at the times, and also it was nice to, see the people in there that's been there for us as well and supported us. And there's a lot in there about. I don't really want to ruin the story because it's just really, really good, really gripping as well. So yeah, I think it really helped me to write the book, and I think it's going to help a lot of people going forward.
Yeah. Do you think there could be a movie made of it?
Yes, I mean, that's definitely something that is on the cards, because it's got such a fantastic storyline. In fact, we spoke to somebody in the industry years back when I think I'd only written about 100 pages of this book. And he said, let's have a look. And he said, gosh, this could be a series. He says, forget about the film. He says, you'll make more money doing a series. I was like, oh, no, I don't mind. It'd just be so nice for somebody to come along and see the potential of the story, and all the different bits that are in there is just unbelievable, and take it and do something with it. That would just be great.
And this is the cheesy question that everyone would inevitably ask: who would you want to play you in the series?
Oh my gosh, I really don't know. I thought about everything else. I thought my husband being Jack Black, because he's got that black humor, which is great. Really, I am not sure. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'll have to think about it.
Yeah,
Of all the money that streaming services and whatever have these days, you could make so much for homeless charities if that's the plan.
Oh, it'd just be just nice to be able to do anything. I always believe no matter what happens in life, you should always try and help other people and give back whenever you can. And so to build the journey bags and things like that, more so this year is my main goal. So we're in quite a few of the cities with the journey bags and things, just giving them, the homeless people some information on where they can get more support. And it
seems to be every city, even town that you go to, there are always homeless people, everybody walking by, and I think we're all guilty of it, just ignoring them. They're just forgotten about, really. No politicians or whoever ever come up with a solution or anything to help them.
I know, and it's a shame, really, because we have to remember that every homeless person out there has a story. They have a life story. I always find it when I'm in London or anywhere, I'll go and have a chat with the homeless people. And, one guy, we was telling each other's stories, and he had a heartbreaking story to tell. And I thought, gosh, you just need some help, some guidance. And in the end, we were sharing our stories. I shared my story, he shared his, and he even passed me his Bible. He was like, please take the Bible. I'm going to you need that, And it's just lovely to be able to hear stories, and they just love that few seconds for you to turn around and say hi.
Yeah. And as you say, there's more than one type of homelessness, because I think we have the typical image of somebody sitting on the street holding up a bit of cardboard saying, I'm hungry. And of course that exists, but there's also your situation, which was living with friends. It has all sorts of guises, and everybody needs help.
Absolutely. Yeah, everybody needs help in their own way. And if everybody can just give that little bit of love and support to other people, it makes you feel fantastic, to help other people out there.
Well, where are we able to find the book, The Journey? And also, do you have plans for even more books after this?
I definitely will be doing some more books. I've not started on them yet, but more motivational, inspiration books. But yeah, at the moment we're on Amazon. We're looking to be going into WH Smith's. We'll be going into the brick and mortar stores as well. But it's only very, very new at the moment. We launched in November.
WH Smith. So if you're going to an airport or a service station anytime soon, there's no excuse not to buy it.
No excuse. You'll have a great read, and you'll be doing good as well, because it's actually giving back. So
oh, shiny.
It's shiny.
Well, many thanks for talking to us today, and have a great weekend.
And you have a great weekend, and thank you very much.